Hey y'all, it is Sunday, ouch, and Mary Jo and I just got out of church, and she's over here to see her dad for a few minutes because it's Father's Day. I think he's 91. He could be 92. But anyway, the sermon was really good. It was talking about fathers that we've had. It was talking about God being our father. And it was talking about the fathers that we are, earthly fathers. And it was talking about how you should be as a father, and also about how our individual fathers were. Some of them weren't there. Some of them were there but not there. Some of them didn't care. And there were a few out there that were good. And one thing that he said that I really liked, and that is that fathers have a responsibility to be the head of their house. Not for the wife to get up on Sunday morning and say, come on, we need to go to church. It's like the guys need to man up and say, okay, family, we're going to church this morning. Everybody up, let's get ready. I like that a lot. Now, my biological father, I remember him barely. I think I was like 3, maybe 4 the last time I saw him. 3, I think. And I just remember that he had the reddest, kinkiest hair, and that he was really tall, and that he wore rubber boots all the time. Now, the reason for that was we went fishing all the time. We were always going fishing. My uncles, my dad, and his name was John Paul, the same as my little brother's name. So that's what I remember about him. Now, he and my mom drank a lot, and they divorced when I was about 3. He did not claim me and my little brother. He denied that we were his because he did not want to have to pay any child support. But his sister, Daisy, who was the most wonderful aunt to me and my little brother, she told me when I was older and I would visit her and we would look at the family pictures. She said, Deborah Joy, you and John Paul are definitely your dad's children. Look at him. Look at John Paul. Look at yourself. But I never knew him. I never saw him again. After my parents got divorced, my mother moved back to Caribou, Maine. And there she met my stepdad, Aaron. Now, he was the kind of father who provided, and he was there, but not really there. Instead of us doing family things, my parents drank. I remember him lying on the Naugahyde couch in the den on his stomach with his face turned toward the television, and football would be on every weekend during football season. And when he had his head turned the other way toward the kitchen, if you tried to sneak over and change the channel, I swear, it was like the man had eyes in the back of his head. He would say, don't touch it. Okay, and we didn't. We finally gave up. We knew better. Or I remember him and my mother sitting in their matching recliners, smoking cigarettes down to the filter, and lighting one off the other, and drinking beer. Or they would go out and come home not sober. I remember my mother falling over the coffee table. I remember when I was in the car, my mother would say, "Pull over," and she would open the car door and throw up. Mom, I'm so sorry, but it is the truth. The only thing I can remember us doing when we were kids was going to the drive-in movie theater. We would put our pajamas on and go to the drive-in. My little brother played baseball, but my parents never went to his games. It was pretty sad to have a parent that just really wasn't there, to have two parents. My parents never went to school, never baked cookies or brownies or volunteered for anything. We were pretty much on our own. We never lacked for anything. We never went hungry. We never lived in a terrible ghetto. Now, my parents were strict. My dad would not hesitate to take that belt off. And you better, whatever it was you were doing, you better stop it right then. I didn't feel that belt a lot, but one time he was giving me a whipping, and the end of his belt had a metal thing at the end, and on the other end, the buckle, it was like you slide it in, and there was this little thing that you slid over to make it catch. It was an Air Force belt, a webbing kind of material, but it slipped. The end with the little metal thing slipped and hit me in my calf, and it bled. Now, out in our side yard, we had a huge propane tank, and that's what we used for cooking and heating our little farmhouse. And we used to straddle that thing, my little brother and I, and we would pretend it was a horse or whatever. We would sit out there and argue and fight like brothers and sisters do. But that was the only time that my dad ever apologized to me. He came out the back door, did not stop walking. He said, "I'm sorry," and he went back in the front door. He was very stoic. He didn't know how to show affection. He didn't have affection from his parents. They were also very stoic. His mother more so than his dad. My mom's dad, I've told y'all before, ended up in an insane asylum because he had syphilis. She went to a foster home, or got farmed out as child labor on a farm, because her mother had 4 children that she couldn't take care of when her husband went to that insane asylum. So, I would have to say that my stepdad at least provided for us and took care of us. We didn't go hungry. We didn't go naked. Did I wear hand-me-downs? You betcha. My aunt would send me my cousin's hand-me-downs from Maine to Arkansas, where we were living. My cousin was a year older than me and definitely bigger than me. But I mean, the whole thing about the fathers and how you affect your children, it's so important. And 40% of the children right now have an absent father. That's sad, y'all. That's really sad. But the pastor encouraged people to forgive their dads. Let it go. Let that stuff go. It is just holding you down and keeping you from being a happier person. And I have to agree with him. Anyway, that is my Father's Day chit chat. I think Mary Jo and I are going, hold on one second. Where is it? I bought something for the little blue cottage, which I think we're making progress. Now, I love the drugstores. They always have all this summer stuff, pots for plants and all these cutesy things, and they're always 50% off. So, you stick this in a plant, the pot. Isn't it cute? It was $3.99 and it was on sale for 50% off. So I paid $2 for my flower. Now, if that's not putting the cart before the horse, I don't know what is. I love you guys. I hope that if you did have a bad dad, that you would just let that go. Let it go. And if you were one of those bad or indifferent dads, I pray that you would reach out to your children and ask them for their forgiveness. I really encourage y'all to do that. Do something fun today. Bye, y'all.